everyone, welcome to my Cuba prep video. This is not a part of my travel series. This is extra credit, a bonus video for you all. So while planning for my Cuba trip over the last few months that is coming up very soon, I have learned a few things that is always controversy or topics that we're just not aware of as planning for a trip to Cuba. Cuba's obviously been off limits to U.S. citizens for a while. So I thought I'd record a video for anyone who may be interested in planning their own trip. Now, first of all, the visa. You must be able to fall under one of 12 categories in order for U.S. citizens to travel into Cuba. It's not for tourism. We're going for educational purposes, but there's a lot of different things like humanitarian purposes that you may travel under. I will post a link to the U.S. government's website to provide you more information of how you could possibly travel to Cuba if you can. Second of all, a lot of the commercial airlines now fly from the U.S. to Cuba, and you can work with them to get your visa to Cuba, but a lot of them use Cuba Travel Services to get their visa. It's $50. You can either have it shipped to you, so you have to pay the shipping fee, of course, or you can pay for it and then pick it up at the airport. So there's that. I'll post a link to that website as well. Second of all, there's health insurance. You must have a particular insurance in order to travel into Cuba. So make sure it's a part of your plane ticket. I haven't had to research it myself. I just had to make sure it was part of my plane ticket. But make sure it's included in the fee because it could possibly be checked. So make sure you have that. If not, you need to purchase your additional insurance outside of the plane ticket. So make sure that's all included before you even purchase the plane ticket. Third, what to wear in Cuba. Cuba is obviously in the Caribbean, so it's nice there all year round, unlike the US where it fluctuates, to winter with it being colder temperatures and everything. So I read a lot of things about, fitting into the culture, and this is stuff that should be apparent. You want to be able to fit into the culture when you go there, but make sure it's something that is comfortable as well as being able to fit into that country's environment. Fourth, taxis. So getting a taxi from the airport, if you don't have a tour, you will have to worry about getting taxis there. You want to be able to negotiate the prices because being someone who's not from the country, you could possibly get a higher rate on your taxi fee. So from the airport to wherever you may be staying, it's usually around $25 to $30 or CUC, their currency. So be sure to be wise about negotiating taxi prices. For accommodations, we're actually using Airbnb because it's cheaper than a hotel. Obviously, the same thing as in any other country. But Airbnb currently in 2016 is very new to their country. So obviously, be sure to read the reviews. I've had people who their host has canceled on them right before going during a major holiday. So be sure to read reviews on the host, on the space, so you don't end up with something that is a mess, or you don't end up with anything you have to scramble at the last minute. They do have hotels, but they're not chains like Marriott or anything like that as of yet. But they do have a variety of 5-star hotels to 1 or whatever. So you can choose that route as well. Last thing, the currency. If you take your US dollars into Cuba and do a transaction there to, get the CUC, the Cuban dollars, you will be charged not only the 3% transaction fee as if you were to exchange your currency anywhere else, but you also be charged 10% because it's US dollars. There is still an embargo in place. So it's best to transfer your money in the US. You can go to Travelex, you can go to your bank. Just make sure you plan in advance because banks could take up to 7 to 10 days to get the currency. But go to those locations and get euros. Translate your money to euros in the United States before you go. You could wait until you go to the airport, but you never know. There may be a long line when you get there. So always plan ahead for this. But yeah, transfer into euros, and then those euros, when you get into Cuba, you can transfer into CUC for the 3% and not the 10% penalty. Also, you cannot use any U.S. credit cards or bank cards in Cuba. I've read some articles out there that there has been creations of credit cards that U.S. citizens can use in Cuba, but as for now, I haven't did the research on them, and I don't know anyone who has. So just keep your eye out. Things are constantly changing since this relationship has weakened. But yeah, those are the things I have learned so far about prepping for the Cuba trip. If you have any questions that I didn't answer here, because obviously we've prepped a whole bunch of stuff, feel free to ask me and I can answer them. But you can stay tuned for the actual travel adventure vlog coming up in January of Cuba. I'm sure that it'll be amazing. So stay tuned. Thank you.